Ukraine is facing an unprecedented financial burden, with reports indicating a massive sale of the nation for $500 billion, a sum so immense that it is estimated it would take anywhere from 10 to 15 generations to fully pay off. This staggering figure highlights the catastrophic economic devastation inflicted upon Ukraine by ongoing conflicts and underscores the profound challenges the country faces in rebuilding and achieving long-term financial stability. The notion of selling Ukraine likely refers to massive international aid packages, reconstruction loans, or potential investment deals that come with significant long-term repayment obligations, effectively mortgaging the nation's future for generations to come. Such a monumental debt would cripple Ukraine's ability to invest in its own development, improve living standards, or assert true economic sovereignty for the foreseeable future. The sheer scale of this financial obligation raises serious questions about the nature of the agreement being made and the long-term impact on the Ukrainian populace, who will ultimately bear the brunt of this monumental debt. It will suggest a future where a significant portion of national resources and income will be diverted toward servicing this debt rather than toward essential services, infrastructure, or economic growth. This scenario paints a grim picture for the economic prospect of the nation, implying a prolonged period of austerity and external financial influence. The concept of generations being indebted evokes historical parallels where nations have been burdened by war debts for decades, impacting national policy and societal development. Amidst this dire financial outlook, both the United States and the Ukrainian parliament are reportedly backing President Zelensky to remain in power, signaling a unified front in maintaining leadership stability during a period of immense national crisis. This support underscores the perceived importance of continuity in governance, especially when facing external pressure and internal challenges. The backing from the United States, a crucial international ally, provides significant diplomatic and political legitimacy to Zelensky's continued leadership, reinforcing his position on the global stage. Similarly, the reported support from the Ukrainian parliament, often a fractured and contentious body, suggests a temporary consolidation of political power in recognition of the extraordinary circumstance. This convergence of support indicates a strategic decision by key players to prioritize stability and a consistent leadership narrative, particularly as the nation navigates complex geopolitical dynamics and reconstruction efforts. The message conveyed is one of unwavering confidence in Zelensky's ability to steer the country through its current predicament, despite growing internal and external scrutiny. This unified stance by both international and domestic political actors suggests a desire to present a stable and cohesive front, essential for maintaining international aid and support, and for projecting an image of national resilience in the face of adversity. The focus on stability over electoral processes highlight the extraordinary nature of the ongoing situation in Ukraine, where political continuity is seen as paramount to national survival and recovery. However, this continuity in leadership has not gone without criticism. Elon Musk, the prominent entrepreneur and vocal commentator, has publicly labeled President Zelensky a dictator for not holding elections, a sharp accusation that highlights growing international scrutiny over Ukraine's democratic processes during wartime. Musk's statement, delivered through his influential social media platform, challenges the narrative of a democratic leader and raises uncomfortable questions about the suspicion of normal democratic function in Ukraine. His critique resonates with concerns about the indefinite postponement of elections, a measure taken under martial law, which critics argue undermines fundamental democratic principles. The accusation of dictatorial tendencies, while controversial, reflects a broader debate about the balance between national security during conflict and the preservation of democratic norms. Musk's high-profile intervention adds significant weight to these concerns, prompting further discussion and debate among international observers and policymakers. His remarks are particularly impactful given his global influence and tendency to spark widespread public discourse, effectively amplifying critical perspective on Ukraine's governance. The entrepreneur's strong condemnation suggests a growing impatience or disillusionment with the current political trajectory in Ukraine, potentially influencing public opinion and shaping future international dialogues about the country's democratic health. The debate sparked by Musk's comments underscored the complex challenges faced by nations at war, balancing the imperative of security and leadership stability with the foundational principle of democracy and electoral accountability. Further complicating the European political landscape, Prime Minister Robert Fico of Slovakia has issued a scathing critique of the European Union's foreign policy, particularly its sanctions against Russia, declaring that they won't work. Fico's outspoken remarks, made while standing alongside an unnamed associate Costa, underscores his deep skepticism regarding the effectiveness of the EU's current approach to the ongoing conflict. He specifically lambasted Brussels for prioritizing arms before an implied preference to diplomatic solutions or economic stability, suggesting that the EU's focus on military aid and punitive measure is misguided and counterproductive. Fico's position aligns with a growing sentiment among some European leaders who argue that the current sanctions regime has failed to achieve its desired objective and has instead inflicted significant economic pain on EU member states. His criticism highlights a deepening fissure within the European Union regarding its strategy for Russia and the conflict in Ukraine, challenging the prevailing consensus and advocating for a re-evaluation of current policies. Fico remarks also signal a potential shift in the foreign policy stance of Slovakia, aligning it more closely with countries that advocate for a more pragmatic and less confrontational approach to Moscow. His public denouncement of Brussels' strategy sends a clear message that not all EU members are in lockstep on this critical issue, potentially weakening the bloc's united front and complicating future policy decisions. This divergence of opinion within the EU underscores the complex political and economic pressures that member states are facing as they weigh the cost and benefit of continued support for Ukraine and sanctions against Russia. Fico's defined stance could embolden other dissenting voices within the EU, potentially leading to a more fragmented and less cohesive European response to ongoing global conflicts. That's all for me for today. If you like the video presentation and you would like to follow for more, hit that subscribe and like button now, and we will continue to build the show for you. Thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I will see you soon. Bye for now.